כי רבים אשר איתנו, הם עוקרו ונפלו, ואנחנו קמנו ונצעדות, למען כבוד השם ותירושו.
Prophet Jeremiah quotes in chapter 9, Koil nehi nishma mitzion eich shudadnu.
Het nicht gibt.
A voice of lamentation has been heard from Zion. How have we been plundered? We are all gathered here today to echo the anguished cry of a plundered Zion. I've been granted the privilege, perhaps I should say the lamentable privilege, of expressing and proclaiming the feelings and convictions of thousands of rabbis, learned sages, yeshiva students, the young and the old, men and women, working people, assembled here today. Let us ask ourselves, why are we assembled here? Why did the Center Rabbinical Congress request that everybody without exception drop everything and gather here? Why did the rabbis invoke the decree which is quoted in the prophet Joel? Yetzei basar mechadrai v'chala mechubasar. Let the groom emerge from his chambers and the bride from her bower, which the Talmud interprets as implying that even those whose occupation is the study of the Torah, the most noble and sacred effort for a Jewish person to engage in, are also obliged to interrupt their learning and attend. Obviously, nothing short of a calamity would warrant such a drastic action. A calamity, my dear friends, that is the answer. We are now faced with a calamity which threatens the very existence of our people, the like of which we have never known. There have been times throughout the ages of Jewish suffering when we have been beset by various oppressors who attempted to deprive us of our physical or our spiritual being. However, the scourge of Jewish nationalism, otherwise known as Zionism, threatens to deprive us both of our physical and spiritual being. Let us now dwell upon specific occurrences which we have lately encountered, after which we will appraise Be'ezus Hashem them collectively and determine the common motivating force behind them. Firstly, we will discuss the present dilemma which brings us here. Let me quote an item from the Jerusalem Post. The official English voice of the government of that damn state of Israel, which appeared Monday. I quote, if Saturday night's police raid on the Tola Saharan Yeshiva in Mea Shearim had occurred anywhere else in the world, the cry of outrage from Jerusalem would have been prodigious. Tear gas fired into a synagogue filled with hundreds of worshippers and children. I am now quoting a news item. Quote again. In the midst of the Sabbath prayers is a scene which evokes memories which best had been left unevoked. I quote again. More than 1,500 adults and 500 youngsters under the age of 13 were on hand in the large hall. After the Rebbe had finished speaking, the Maariv prayer was begun. It was then that the gas was fired. Hasidim who were present say that they did not hear the police call from the loudspeakers outside, ordering them to leave the building. Unquote. They had the right to order them to leave the building. Quote again. As the gas filled the hall, they say, children began to faint. Quote again. It is easy to imagine the repercussions in the world. Had a similar raid been carried out against a mosque or a church with worshippers? Unquote. Okay. Now, we all realize and we all know that the sanctity of a place of worship is recognized throughout the world, regardless of faith or faction. No one would dare to order a police enforcement authority to abrogate that sanctity, to tread in at the time of worship and wreck and wreak havoc with the consequences thereof. As can be seen from this news report, the police have set upon religious Jews in their synagogue with a brutality paralleled only in Nazi Germany, as alluded to in their own report. Secondly, let us touch another problem. The problem of desecrating age-old graves which are being opened and their remains removed with official sanction. Graves of great Talmudic sages which have heretofore been approached with great reverence and awe, where people came to pour forth their hearts, has been defiled by archaeologists and other modern-day raid grabbers. Let us also touch briefly upon the question of post-mortem autopsies, which is a violation of the basic human rights to his own body. To carry it further, they are now removing organs from people who are considered clinically dead, but according to the Jewish law, who the Shulchan Aruch are considered as being fully alive. Such an act constitutes murder! Another instance which I would like to portray would be the way the Zionist government has uprooted whole communities consisting of hundreds of thousands of religious Jews who never knew a life other than a strict adherence to the Torah. Upon their arrival to the Holy Land, children were forcibly separated from parents and exposed to an atheistic education, thereby wrecking their family structure and alienating them to religious Jewish life. Another instance, which is a mere single factor in this whole master plan of Zionism, is the Western Wall and the Holy Mount. The holiest of the holy, which according to Torah law must be attended to with extreme reverence in order to be eligible to enter, a person must go through certain rigorous, purifying rituals. At the present time, we are forbidden to tread upon the inner area behind the wall, due to the very sacred nature of this area. Yet, this place has been turned into a gaudy tourist attraction similar to resorts and amusement parks found throughout the world. Imagine the place where the holy light of God, our God, rests, has been turned into a place of secularism. Such transgressions would have been punished in the time of the Beis HaMikdash with execution or extirpation. All these facts clearly point to the underlying basic motives of Zionism, whose goal it is to abjure Judaism and substituting it for which they have created the state of Israel. All the great ages of this perfidious Judaism called Zionism. This is enunciated in the great works of our unforgettable sainted leader, the Satmar Rebbe of blessed memory, in its holy book known as Vayol Moshe. Let us declare here and now, we will, with the help of God, never succumb or yield to the cheap embellishments or the golden calf or the angel of Zionism. Getting back to our main topic concerning latest incidents, we demand immediate and unconditional release of the 42 Jerusalem hostages. 2, we demand that the brutal persecution and harassments of religious Jews who have wished to live their sacred lives in peace and tranquility of their religious neighborhood and holy city be spared